stood beside me for a moment, like you had so many times. Then you smiled a little softer, and I knew what lay behind. Neither one of us could say it, so we simply let it be. You didn't have to say goodbye. I could feel it in your hand, in the way you held mine gently, like you hoped I'd understand. Some goodbyes are made of silence, and a love that understands. There was nothing left to promise, nothing either heart could mend, only something warm between us as we reached a quiet end. I watched you slowly walk away then, never asking you to stay. There are things we cannot carry, there are things we shouldn't change. And although my heart went with you, I was grateful for the days. You didn't have to say goodbye. I could feel it in your hand, in the way you held mine gently, like you hoped I'd understand. Some goodbyes are made of silence, and a love that understands. You don't have to turn around now, I can let you gently go. What we gave will still be with me, more than either of us knows. And wherever life may take you, I will smile because we loved. I heard somebody laughing nearby and stopped before I knew the reason. Something about the way it carried made everything around me disappear. I wasn't standing where I had been, not for a moment anyway. For a moment I was there again, walking without anywhere to go, smiling before the joke was finished, taking every day as it came. Nothing had changed, yet everything had. I could almost feel those years beside me. Then the moment gently loosened, and I found myself back here. I remembered how we never planned much. We simply followed what felt right. How easily a day could wander, and still somehow turn out fine. Faces returned without their names. Small gestures found their places again. The way we'd pause before parting, the way we'd laugh and start once more. It wasn't something I went searching for, it simply opened for a while. For a moment I was there again, walking without anywhere to go, smiling before the joke was finished, taking every day as it came. Nothing had changed, yet everything had. I could almost feel those years beside me. Then the moment gently loosened, and I found myself back here. It's enough that now and then they still know how to find me. And for a moment I'm reminded, some parts of us don't fade with age. I finished everything a little early, then found no reason to move on. I wandered slowly without deciding, and let the minutes come and go. Someone called my name behind me. For half a second I almost turned. I kept a little time for you, though you never asked me to. A few more minutes before leaving, a slower step along the way. Maybe you would come around, maybe nothing would occur. Still I like the simple feeling of leaving somewhere you could find me. People passed and carried on. I watched their conversations fade. Every now and then I'd notice someone walking at your pace. I never counted how long I stayed there, or wondered what I ought to do. There was something almost let it happen as it may. I kept a little time for you, though you never asked me to. A few more minutes before leaving, a slower step along the way. Maybe you would come around, maybe nothing would occur. Still I like the simple feeling of leaving somewhere you could find me. And if you never meant to meet me, nothing beautiful was lost. I had a little time worth keeping, and nowhere else I had to be. Sometimes waiting isn't lonely when the thought itself feels warm. Always waited when I fell behind, never made a reason out of it. I'd find you standing there and smiling, as if there was nowhere else to be. We'd lose our way and keep on walking, and somehow everything felt fine. You made the days feel easy without ever trying to. A little laugh, a little patience was all it ever seemed to take. I never stopped to thank you for making room for me. Some kindness stays so softly, we notice when we look behind. You never hurried my decisions or filled the pauses when they came. Sometimes we'd sit without a story and let the moment stay that way. Even when I changed my mind, how you let the smallest worries lose their weight along the way. Back then it seemed so ordinary, now it feels like something rare. You made the days feel easy without ever trying to. A little laugh, a little patience was all it ever seemed to take. I never stopped to thank you for making room for me. Some kindness stays so softly, notice when we look behind. If I could meet those days once more, I wouldn't ask them to remain. I'd simply walk a little slower and notice all the care you gave. Some people leave us something gentle that time can never quite explain. I was halfway into a conversation when something made me smile the same old way. For just a moment, I could almost hear you laughing at the things I used to say. Then someone asked me what was funny. I shook my head and carried on. Every now and then I remember, not enough to make me sad. Just a small and sudden feeling from a life we once had. It comes without an invitation, then disappears before too long, leaving something warm behind it, like the ending of a familiar song. I still forget the little details, the words we said, the clothes we wore. But sometimes something in a stranger brings back what I'd forgotten before. I don't go searching for those moments. They seem to know just where I am. They find me in the middle of something, then quietly loosen their hands. And by the time I turn to meet them, they're already fading again. Every now and then I remember, not enough to make me sad. Just a small and sudden feeling from a life we once had. It comes without an invitation, then disappears before too long, leaving something warm behind it, like the ending of a familiar song. So when you cross my mind these days, I let the feeling have its place. No need to hold it any closer, no reason now to turn away. Some people visit us in memory and leave us smiling when they fade. still speaking when I stood up. I said I'd better be on my way. You gave a smile that lasted briefly, then moved your hands as if to say there might have been a little more, but neither of us asked me to stay. Maybe I left too soon. Maybe there was more to hear. A sentence waiting after mine, a reason to remain. I thought there'd always be another day, another chance to take it slow. Funny how the smallest endings are the ones we never know. I must have had somewhere to hurry, though now I couldn't tell you where. You walked beside me for a distance, then stopped and simply stood there. I remember turning once behind me. You hadn't moved as far as I could see. I raised my hand and kept on going, certain there was time enough for me. Nothing in that moment warned us how much a moment sometimes means. Maybe I left too soon. Maybe there was more to hear. A sentence waiting after mine, a reason to remain. I thought there'd always be another day, another chance to take it slow. Funny how the smallest endings are the ones we never know. If I could stand there once again, I wouldn't change the words we said. I'd only stay another minute and let the silence reach its end. Not every regret needs an answer. Some just teach us not to rush. We started out as we had many times, talking about ordinary things. You smiled whenever I looked over. I found another thing to mention. Neither of us chose a direction, so we simply carried on. We walked until there was nothing more to say, until our sentences grew smaller. A few soft words, a little laughter, then only footsteps side by side. I think we both could feel it ending, but neither tried to make it stay. So we gave the last few moments all the time they seemed to need. Once or twice you nearly stopped, then changed your mind and walked some more. I did the same without admitting what we were both delaying. Eventually the distance narrowed to where our separate ways began. You looked at me as if remembering something neither one could name. I smiled because you smiled first, and somehow that was enough. We walked until there was nothing more to say, until our sentences grew smaller. A few soft words, a little laughter, then only footsteps side by side. I think we both could feel it ending, but neither tried to make it stay. So we gave the last few moments all the time they seemed to need. There was no perfect way to leave it, no final words we had to find. You went your way, I went mine, and neither of us turned around. But even now I like to think we left each other gently. We kept finding one more thing to say, then laughing halfway down the street. You'd stop and turn as I was speaking, and I'd forget where I had been. No one was waiting on tomorrow, so neither of us watched the time. Neither of us wanted Every step kept turning around. There was nothing we had to hold on to, nothing we needed to prove. We just kept making the moment smaller, so it wouldn't end too soon. You pointed somewhere in the distance. I nodded though I barely looked. I liked the way your face would brighten whenever something made you laugh. We took the longest way without deciding, past the same places twice somehow. You'd start a sentence, then forget it, and I was happy listening anyway. The world could carry on without us for just a little while. Neither of us wanted to leave, though we never said it aloud. Every goodbye became another story. Every step kept turning around. There was nothing we had to hold on to, nothing we needed to prove. We just kept making the moment smaller, so it wouldn't end too soon. I wouldn't change the way it happened, or ask that moment to return. Some things are precious in the keeping, without a promise at the end. And somewhere in that slow goodbye, we had more than we understood. We took the wrong turn without noticing, and somehow ended farther away. You blamed me first, I blamed the signs that neither of us knew what to say. You tried so hard to look annoyed. I started laughing at your face. We laughed at almost everything, at stories that weren't even funny, at little plans that went all wrong, at words we couldn't quite remember. Nothing had to be remarkable. Nothing had to go our way. We were simply glad to be there, and that was more than enough. You made up names for passing strangers. I tried to guess what they'd become. We disagreed on every answer, then changed our minds just for the fun. There wasn't anything worth keeping, no grand occasion, no surprise, just one of those unplanned adventures that somehow never left my mind. Even getting lost felt easy, with your laughter close beside me. We laughed at almost everything, at stories that weren't even funny, at little plans that went all wrong, at words we couldn't quite remember. Nothing had to be remarkable. Nothing had to go our way. We were simply glad to be there, and that was more than enough. These days I understand it better, why that memory always stays. Happiness didn't need announcing, or wait for some extraordinary day. Sometimes it was two people laughing, with nowhere they needed to be. You walk beside me without asking. I slowed my steps without a thought. We laughed at things I've long forgotten, and stayed until the talking stopped. You brushed your sleeve against my shoulder. I never wondered what it meant. Maybe it started in those moments before we had a name for anything. Somewhere between the smiles and silence, something was quietly beginning. I only knew needed an explanation. We simply let the hours unfold. You turn around to see me coming. I'd catch up like I always would. Years have softened all the details, but somehow that remains so clear. The way an ordinary moment could make me wish that you'd stay near. I never thought to call it something. I only smiled and stayed a while. Maybe it started in those moments before we had a name for anything. Somewhere between the smiles and silence, something was quietly beginning. I only knew I liked the feeling of finding you there next to me. Now I can see what I was missing. Looking back from where I stand, love had arrived without announcing, soft enough to pass unnoticed. And maybe that's why I remember how gently everything began. You stood beside me for a moment, like you had so many times. Then you smiled a little softer, and I knew what lay behind. Neither one of us could say it, so we simply let it be. You didn't have to say goodbye. I could feel it in your hand, in the way you held mine gently, like you hoped I'd understand. Some goodbyes are made of silence, and a love that understands. There was nothing left to promise, nothing either heart could mend, only something warm between us as we reached a quiet end. I watched you slowly walk away then, never asking you to stay. There are things we cannot carry, there are things we shouldn't change. And although my heart went with you, was grateful for the days you didn't have to say goodbye. I could feel it in your hand, in the way you held mine gently, like you hoped I'd understand. Some goodbyes are made of silence, and a love that understands. You don't have to turn around now. I can let you gently go. What we gave will still be with me, more than either of us knows. And wherever life may take you, I will smile because we loved. I heard somebody laughing nearby and stopped before I knew the reason. Something about the way it carried made everything around me disappear. I wasn't standing where I had been, not for a moment anyway. For a moment I was there again, walking without anywhere to go, smiling before the joke was finished, taking every day as it came. Nothing had changed, yet everything had. I could almost feel those years beside me. Then the moment gently loosened, and I found myself back here. I remembered how we never planned much. We simply followed what felt right. How easily a day could wander, and still somehow turn out fine. Faces returned without their names. Small gestures found their places again. The way we'd pause before parting, the way we'd laugh and start once more. It wasn't something I went searching for, it simply opened for a while. For a moment I was there again, walking without anywhere to go, smiling before the joke was finished, taking every day as it came. Nothing had changed, yet everything had. I could almost feel those years beside me. Then the moment gently loosened, parts of us don't fade with age. I finished everything a little early, then found no reason to move on. I wandered slowly without deciding, and let the minutes come and go. Someone called my name behind me. For half a second I almost turned. I kept a little time for you, though you never asked me to. A few more minutes before leaving, a slower step along the way. Maybe you would come around, maybe nothing would occur. Still I like the simple feeling of leaving somewhere you could find me. People passed and carried on. I watched their conversations fade. Every now and then I'd notice someone walking at your pace. I never counted how long I stayed there, or wondered what I ought to do. There was something almost comforting in not quite knowing if you'd come. So I gave the day no answer, and let it happen as it may. I kept a little time for you, though you never asked me to. A few more minutes before leaving, a slower step along the way. Maybe you would come around, maybe nothing would occur. Still I like the simple feeling of leaving somewhere you could find me. And if you never meant to meet me, nothing beautiful was lost. I had a little time worth keeping, and nowhere else I had to be. Sometimes waiting isn't lonely when the thought itself feels warm. Always waited when I fell behind, never made a reason out of it. I'd find you standing there and smiling, as if there was nowhere else to be. we'd lose our way and keep on walking. And somehow everything felt fine. You made the days feel easy without ever trying to. A little laugh, a little patience was all it ever seemed to take. I never stopped to thank you for making room for me. Some kindness stays so softly. We notice when we look behind. You never hurried my decisions or filled the pauses when they came. Sometimes we'd sit without a story and let the moment stay that way. I remember how you listened even when I changed my mind, how you let the smallest worries lose their weight along the way. Back then it seemed so ordinary, now it feels like something rare. You made the days feel easy without ever trying to. A little laugh, a little patience was all it ever seemed to take. I never stopped to thank you for making room for me. Some kindness stays so softly. We notice when we look behind. If I could meet those days once more, I wouldn't ask them to remain. I'd simply walk a little slower and notice all the care you gave. Some people leave us something gentle that time can never quite explain. I was halfway into a conversation when something made me smile the same old way. For just a moment I could almost hear you laughing at the things I used to say. Then someone asked me what was funny. I shook my head and carried on. Every now and then I remember, not enough to make me sad, just a small and sudden feeling from a life we once had. It comes without an invitation, then disappears before too long. leaving something warm behind it, like the ending of a familiar song. I still forget the little details, the words we said, the clothes we wore. But sometimes something in a stranger brings back what I'd forgotten before. I don't go searching for those moments. They seem to know just where I am. They find me in the middle of something, then quietly loosen their hands. And by the time I turn to meet them, they're already fading again. Every now and then I remember, not enough to make me sad, just a small and sudden feeling from a life we once had. It comes without an invitation, then disappears before too long, leaving something warm behind it, like the ending of a familiar song. So when you cross my mind these days, I let the feeling have its place. No need to hold it any closer, no reason now to turn away. Some people visit us in memory and leave us smiling when they fade. You were still speaking when I stood up. I said I'd better be on my way. You gave a smile that lasted briefly, then moved your hands as if to say, there might have been a little more, but neither of us asked me to stay. Maybe I left too soon. Maybe there was more to hear. A sentence waiting after mine, a reason to remain. I thought there'd always be another day, another chance to take it slow. Funny how the smallest endings are the ones we never know. I must have had somewhere to hurry, though now I couldn't tell you where. You walked beside me for a distance, then stopped and simply stood there. I remember turning once behind me. You hadn't moved as far as I could see. I raised my hand and kept on going, certain there was time enough for me. Nothing in that moment warned us how much a moment sometimes means. Maybe I left too soon. Maybe there was more to hear. A sentence waiting after mine, a reason to remain. I thought there'd always be another day, another chance to take it slow. Funny how the smallest endings are the ones we never know. If I could stand there once again, I wouldn't change the words we said. I'd only stay another minute and let the silence reach its end. Not every regret needs an answer. Some just teach us not to rush. We started out as we had many times, talking about ordinary things. You smiled whenever I looked over. I found another thing to mention. Neither of us chose a direction, so we simply carried on. We walked until there was nothing more to say, until our sentences grew smaller. A few soft words, a little laughter, then only footsteps side by side. I think we both could feel it ending, but neither tried to make it stay. So we gave the last few moments all the time they seemed to need. Once or twice you nearly stopped, then changed your mind and walked some more. I did the same without admitting what we were both delaying. Eventually the distance narrowed to where our separate ways began. You looked at me as if remembering something I smiled because you smiled first, and somehow that was enough. We walked until there was nothing more to say, until our sentences grew smaller. A few soft words, a little laughter, then only footsteps side by side. I think we both could feel it ending, but neither tried to make it stay. So we gave the last few moments all the time they seemed to need. There was no perfect way to leave it, no final words we had to find. You went your way, I went mine, and neither of us turned around. But even now I like to think we left each other gently. We kept finding one more thing to say, then laughing halfway down the street. You'd stop and turn as I was speaking, and I'd forget where I had been. No one was waiting on tomorrow, so neither of us watched the time. Neither of us wanted to leave, though we never said it aloud. Every goodbye became another story. Every step kept turning around. There was nothing we had to hold on to, nothing we needed to prove. We just kept making the moment smaller, so it wouldn't end too soon. You pointed somewhere in the distance. I nodded though I barely looked. I liked the way your face would brighten whenever something made you laugh. We took the longest way without deciding, past the same places twice somehow. You'd start a sentence, then forget it, and I was happy listening anyway. The world could carry on without us for just a little while. Neither of us wanted to leave, though we never said it aloud. precious in the keeping, without a promise at the end. And somewhere in that slow goodbye, we had more than we understood. Took the wrong turn without noticing, and somehow ended farther away. You blame me first, I blame the signs that neither of us knew what to say. You tried so hard to look annoyed, I started laughing at your face. We laughed at almost everything, at stories that weren't even funny, at little plans that went all couldn't quite remember. Nothing had to be remarkable, nothing had to go our way. We were simply glad to be there, and that was more than enough. You made up names for passing strangers. I tried to guess what they'd become. We disagreed on every answer, then changed our minds just for the fun. There wasn't anything worth keeping, no grand occasion, no surprise, just one of those unplanned adventures that somehow never left my mind. Even getting lost felt easy, with your laughter close beside me. We laughed at almost everything, at stories that weren't even funny, at little plans that went all wrong, at words we couldn't quite remember. Nothing had to be remarkable, nothing had to go our way. We were simply glad to be there, and that was more than enough. These days I understand it better, why that memory always stays. Happiness did didn't need announcing or wait for some extraordinary day. Sometimes it was two people laughing with nowhere they needed to be. You walk beside me without asking. I slowed my steps without a thought. We laughed at things I've long forgotten and stayed until the talking stopped. You brushed your sleeve against my shoulder. I never wondered what it meant. Maybe it started in those moments before we had a name for anything. Somewhere between the smiles and silence, something was quietly beginning. I only knew I liked the feeling of finding you there next to me. Nothing needed an explanation. We simply let the hours unfold. You turn around to see me coming. I'd catch up like I always would. Years have softened all the details, but somehow that remains so clear. The way an ordinary moment could make me wish that you'd stay near. I never thought to call it something. I only smiled and stayed a while. Maybe it started in those moments before we had a name for anything. Somewhere between the smiles and silence, something was quietly beginning. I only knew I liked the feeling of finding you there next to me. Now I can see what I was missing. Looking back from where I stand, love had arrived without announcing, soft enough to pass unnoticed. And maybe that's why I remember how gently everything began.